to apply for a certificate of possession of such assault weapon by May 1st, 2024. So that's what we have to do right now. If we want to have something, we have to apply for it. Hey everyone. So today is April 6th, 2024, and by the time this is uploaded, it's going to be April 7th. But anyway, so I wanted to do a video because right around the corner, end of April, is the last day in the state of Connecticut for you to have submitted all of the stuff that you need to do if you want to register your assault weapons. What does it mean if you choose to register your assault weapons? It means you have ownership of them. You are declaring that you purchased them at a time that it was legal for you to purchase them in the state of Connecticut. That's prior to, I think, June 6, 2023. And when this law went into effect, maybe it's June 7th, but whenever it was June 2023. I don't know exactly how this is going to play out as far as what you were able to do. I know that prior to 2013, there was a previous assault weapon ban in Connecticut where there were certain features. You could buy an AR-15, but it couldn't have more than so many features. And then when 2013 rolled around, in April of 2013, they passed an assault weapon ban, and they made certain features of the gun, certain features would turn the gun into an assault weapon. However, once a gun was declared an assault weapon, for example, you could have a folding stock or a flash suppressor or a threaded barrel or a semi-automatic firearm that had the ability to accept a magazine outside of the grip of the firearm. So like things like this, or a vertical foregrip, barrel shroud, stuff like that, stuff that's defined in the law. That law got modified. The assault weapon law got modified in 2023, last year, and there has been a new registration period that's been open, and many people, myself included, are registering firearms that they've purchased. Like I had another firearm, a CT other firearm that I purchased in 2020 that was legal in the state, and I registered that. I submitted my registration for that back in November, and Connecticut still hasn't processed. As far as I know, they are not processing until after the end of the month. So after, things have stopped. I recorded a video on my laptop earlier. I'm going to go through. I'm not going to show my personal information on that, but there is a directory when you create your account and log in, verify that you are who you say you are. You'll see all the firearms that you own. Connecticut has a database of all the firearms that you own on there, and anything that you purchased is on there. What you will need to do is you will need to go in and submit your paperwork, essentially, which the state already has a copy of most of this, including your fingerprints and stuff like that, which they already have if you have a permit through the state to own them. So they already have that on file, which I guess they're making you do that again. But you will get, after they process this, everything back in the mail saying that, yeah, you can legally own this thing. The law is ridiculous, but here's my hope. Number one, I don't hope for mass noncompliance. That has happened in many states. It's happening in Illinois. It has happened in New York when they passed their assault weapon ban back in 2013 as well. It's happened in a lot of states where people are just not complying. But what I do hope is when I submitted my information for my firearms back in November, right around Thanksgiving, I was in the 80,000th. So every application I submitted, I had a number of them. And they went up by 1 or 2. So I was assuming the ID number on the application is sequential. What that would mean is I was like 80,000 in the state of submitting my application. So there's hundreds of thousands by now firearms that are being registered as assault weapons. I'm hoping that this can qualify as common use. When we get enough people openly saying, yeah, guys, I got one of these too, we are going to see two things. Number one, not that many crimes are committed with assault weapons. Yes, there are people that commit crimes with firearms in general. Fewer of them are committed with assault weapons. And I'm using the term assault weapon because it's a legal definition. I know it's kind of a made-up term. Anyway, fewer of them are with assault weapons, with rifles, whatever. Most of it is with handguns, and most of it is with handguns that have been illegally obtained from people who aren't registered. The laws are made supposedly to go after criminals, but one, criminals don't follow the law, and two, people who are following the law and people who get their permit and people who register their firearms and do all of the redundant paperwork to keep our firearms legally after we've already purchased them and done everything like that, we're not the ones who are committing crime. And when we have, when we have that information in the state database and everything, it will help lawyers and lawsuits going forward. When you submit your DPS 3C to, or you fill it out at the gun store, when you purchase your firearm, you sign 4 copies of this. One you keep, another the gun store keeps, a third gets sent to your local police department, and the 4th goes to the state. So these 4 copies are all retained by individuals across the state, yourself, the gun store, and so on. So they know what you have, whether it's your local police down the street or the state. They know what you got. So just keep that in mind. Another bonus thing that I forgot to mention, I don't know if this is going to work, by the way, but something that I did is I'd submitted a number of my semi-automatic pistols that I don't carry on a regular basis. So like my home defense pistol, for example, is a Glock 32 in 357 SIG. And Glocks are really good at converting into other calibers, just because you can take off the upper and change the extractor and some other stuff. The ejector, if you swap out the upper. Anyway, but if you want to try, I have not gotten any word back from the state, and like I said, I submitted my stuff back in November. But if you want to try this, you can attempt to submit semi-automatic firearms as assault weapons. So what that would mean is I would be allowed, I'm assuming, to place a threaded barrel on these guns. So I'm going to see if the state goes for it. I mean, the way the law is written, I should be allowed to submit them, but we'll see. If that's the case, then I can have a threaded barrel on my HK45C or some of these other guns, and I won't be allowed to carry it in that configuration, as far as I can tell. But I should be allowed to possess it legally. So, yeah, we'll see. If you want to try it, go ahead. Again, I don't know if it's going to be successful or if they're going to realize, whoops, we did not mean to do this. But according to the law, it should work. Anyway, guys, like I said, stay safe. And good luck with the eclipse and all that stuff coming up. And everything coming up toward the end of the year. We'll see how that goes. See ya.